Good morning, 7th grade. What's up? Happy Friday. And here is your awesome, fun, happy problem of the day. Copy everything down, hit pause, and give it a shot.
Use the force, you will.
All right. So today's problem of the day. This is a proportion problem. And it's a conversion problem. So it says 1 QT, which is a quart, 1 quart container about this big, equals 2 pints. Pints are like, oh, by the way, here's a quart. This is a quart. And a pint is like one of those bottles of pop you buy at the store. Those are usually a quart, 16 ounces. All right, so 1 quart equals 2 pints. 3.5 quarts equals blank pints. All right, so we're just going to turn this into a proportion. First fraction, 1 over 2. And we're going to label it. Remember yesterday we learned that labeling it is important. The 1 stands for quarts. The 2 stands for pints. Now we can make our second fraction. It says 3.5 quarts. Where's that going to go? Oh, quarts is on the top. And this is the one we don't know. We don't know how many pints. So I'm just going to put a P for pints. Oh, this is going to be an easy one. 1 times P is 1P. 3.5 times 2 is 7. Divide by 1 to each side. Those cancel out, and I get P equals 7, right? There's my answer. 7 pints, right? Figured out that the P is 7 pints. All right. Pretty easy. You just got to make sure you're labeling it, and that you take your time with your third number and make sure it goes in the correct spot in the proportion. All right, so today's notes for 918. We're going to talk about some more conversions and some story problems, all right? So, give us a story problem. We'll say that it takes 15 minutes for Quinn Flippin to do 40 math problems. I want to know how long in minutes will it take Quinn to do 100 problems? How many minutes is it going to take him to do 100 problems? All right. So we're going to do the same thing we've been doing. This isn't really a conversion. We're not converting anything, but we can still use a proportion to figure out our missing number. So this isn't going to be exact because maybe some problems are harder, easier, but on average, how long do you think it would take him? All right. So our best way to do this is to use a proportion, just like we've been doing. 15 minutes over 40 is our first fraction, and label it 15 minutes, 40 problems. Then if it says 100 problems, I know whether that 100 goes on the top or the bottom. 100 problems, up there's the letter P, it goes down here. And up on top, we don't know how many minutes, so I'm going to put an M. Cross multiply, and like I said, we're going to need a calculator, so if you don't have a calculator, hit pause, go get your calculator. 40 times M, always do your variable first. 40M, 40 times M, right? If they're touching, it means multiply. Put your equal sign, 15 times 100, 1,500. Well, this is a bigger number than we're used to, right? Get your variable by itself, get rid of the 40. We don't want to get rid of the 1,500. We do it to one side, and we must do it to the other. Your 40s cancel out. And I get M equals, I'm going to need a calculator to do this myself. 1,500. Notice I'm typing the top number in first. Divided by 40. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. $37.5. So it should take him about 37.5 minutes. We don't know if that's exact or not, but that's our best estimate given the information they give us. All right? So we can see that there's lots of problems we can solve using proportions. All right? And we're going to continue to learn. I mean, there are hundreds. We're going to learn tons of different ways we can learn problems with these proportions. This is the most important thing we're going to learn in 7th grade, actually, is these proportions and how to use them. All right? So we'll do one more together. We're going to say in order to make blue paint, green paint. In order to make green paint, you have to mix 2 cans of yellow with 1 can of blue. Two cans of yellow, 1 can of blue, and bam, we mix those together, we got green paint. All right, and this is true, this really works. All right, so we'll say, what if I had 6 cans of yellow? How much blue would I need to make green paint out of all that? So we do the same thing, we make a proportion. And like I said, it doesn't matter which number is on top. 2 over 1. We're going to label that. The 2 stands for yellow, Y. The 1 stands for blue, B. And then I can figure out where my other number goes in the fraction. 6 cans yellow. Is that 6 going to go on the top or the bottom? If I see a Y on top for yellow, so we're going to put that 6 up here. I'm going to put the B on the bottom. I got to be careful so my B doesn't look like a 6. I don't like to use B's very often because they do look like 6s. All right, so we cross multiply. Variable first. 2 times B is 2B. 1 times 6 is 6. Solve my proportion, or my equation. Get the B by itself, so I divide by 2. I should be getting good at these now. And B equals 3. So we need 3 cans of blue. So blue equals 3, right? 3 cans of blue. So we can see proportions used for all kinds of different things. Soon we're going to learn how to use them to determine speed. We're going to learn how to use them to find percents. But that's down the road. You guys have a great Friday and a lovely weekend.